is the second part of the MD-11 video. I recorded this several times now because the aircraft received some updates when I recorded, so I decided to re-record to include those updates. We are currently at cruising towards our destination, Minneapolis, and let's jump into the cockpit and talk about what we need to do to prepare the aircraft for descent. We can also talk about the updates that it received. Now we have the third FMC functional, ACARS, CPDLC. There are some fixes that were introduced, so it's getting close to final release. Anyway, let's focus on the flight. We will tune the ATIS 135.35. That's the ATIS of the destination airport.
900. Ceiling 3,300 broken. 5500 overcast. Temperature 15. 2.08. Altimeter 2982. Landing runway 30 left, 30 right, 35. Departing runway 30 left, 30 right. Red-Beckle hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information golf.
We have information golf. Landing runways are 30 left, 30 right, which we are expecting one of them. Actually, I already selected 30 left. We'll see if we will receive it from the ATC. So we are planning to execute an ILS approach to runway 30 left. We have listened to the ATIS, we have information golf, altimeter is 2982. And we are waiting for the descent instructions from the ATC. So once we get those, I don't know if I will be able to record while we are talking to the ATC. I will bring you guys back and we'll prepare for the descent. See you in a little bit.
07, Chicago Center. Amendment to your route advised ready to copy.
Wilco, ready to copy. FedEx 1407.
FedEx 1407, expect Bloom 4, runway 30 left.
Bloom 4, runway 30 left. FedEx 1407.
So as you have heard, we have received the 30 left via Bloom 4 arrival, so that's what I was expecting. We are getting close to our top of descent and we'll just set the aircraft for the descent now. FMC wise, we need to go and select our landing flaps. We will be landing with flaps 50. Approach speed of 160, reference speed of 155. That's set. Radio navigation page, I'm not gonna set the ILS course just now. It's not yet. The reason I'm doing this is I had 3 failures with this. If you tune it too early, it will pick up a station that's close by and you will not be able to capture the localizer when you execute the land or when you execute the approach mode. I had that 3 times. I was trying to
FedEx 1407,
what was happening.
contact Chicago Center 127.05.
Contact Chicago Center 127.05, FedEx 1407.
Let's contact the center and we will continue what we were discussing.
Chicago Center, FedEx 1407, flight level 360.
FedEx 1407, Chicago Center, roger.
So what I was saying is, when you tune it too early, if we look at the approach chart here, ILS 30 left, which should be somewhere down here. Again, the EFB is not great. It's very hard to see what I'm looking at. That's 12. How do I move this down? There is no way to move this down. 35, 35, 3 left. There it is. So the localizer, it didn't load the chart, I guess. There we go. Localizer frequency is 110.3. final approach course is 301. If I tune it now, 110.3, 301. It's not the right place. I put it into the wrong box, but no big deal. Right here, we are receiving the ident as India Delta Sierra Mike. If we look at the chart, ident is India Mike Sierra Papa. This is happening because we are not close enough to the airport to pick up that signal. Therefore, it's picking up something close by, and this causes the localizer to lose, or the aircraft cannot capture the localizer. Anyway, we are instructed to descend via the SID, which is the blue M4, which means we are good to down to 7,000. Hepton is our transition to the approach. So 7,000, we can set that up on the main control panel because we are approaching the top of descent. And the aircraft should start descending when we get to that top of descent waypoint.
FedEx 1407, descend via Bloom for arrival. Minneapolis St. Paul Airport landing runway tree 0 left. Altimeter 2982.
Descend via Bloom for arrival. Minneapolis St. Paul Airport landing runway 30 left. Altimeter 2982 FedEx 1407.
As we were talking, we have received the instructions to descend via the star, which we already set the aircraft up for. Only thing we need to do is wait until we are ready to tune the ILS frequency. We can set this up here and keep it on the scratch pad for ease of access, and we'll just wait until we reach the top of descent. We'll see if we are going to get an ILS approach or visual. I am not sure about that yet, but we will see. Just a little bit more. To execute the descent here in a little bit. Up to our top of descent waypoint in about 20 miles. This is still a little bit away, but I'm gonna keep you guys here until we reach the top of descent, or I can cut the video and edit.
FedEx 1407, contact Minneapolis Center 134.0. See you.
Contact Minneapolis Center 134.0, FedEx 1407. Have a good one.
Beyond the ATC is not still able to auto-tune the frequencies.
Minneapolis Center, FedEx 1407. Good day. Descending via Bloom for flight level 360.
FedEx 1407, Minneapolis Center, roger.
A couple other things that came with the update is now we have a performance calculator. We know we are landing to Minneapolis. A 30 left, and get the weather information. Landing weight is on our dispatch. Estimated landing weight 469.44. So we'll put that in here. 469.44. Auto brakes will be medium. Reversers will be all. Flaps will be 50, and we'll calculate. We need 6,200 feet for the landing. If we go auto brakes max, that's too intense. We'll just do the medium brakes with reversers. Approaching the top of descent now. We are ready to execute the descent. Let's put the passenger signs on, even though we don't have any passengers and we are hauling cargo. We might be having some crew in the back, so they can put their seat belts on, and the aircraft is ready to descend via the star.
FedEx 1407, contact Minneapolis Center 127.3.
Contact Minneapolis Center 127.3, FedEx 1407.
Started descending.
Minneapolis Center, FedEx 1407. Good day. Descending via Bloom for flight level 360.
FedEx 1407, Minneapolis Center, roger.
Send like this, we see the add drag message on the screen. We will put the speed brakes out, and it should help. And I'll bring you guys back when we are close to 10,000 feet. See you in a little bit. Back friends, we are about to pass below 15,000 and still descending via the star and waiting for ATC to contact for the approach information. We have a rainbow right there, we just had. Anyway, let's jump into the cockpit. And we are in the soup, coming below 14,500 now. Maintaining the speed. I have the speed brakes out still. Let's see if we can get the correct ident when we tune. India Hotel Kilo Zulu, still India Mike Sierra Papa. So it's still not the correct one. Let's delete this. (301)
FedEx 1407, contact Minneapolis approach 134.7. Have a good flight.
Contact Minneapolis approach, FedEx 1407. Take care.
Let's contact the approach.
Minneapolis,
to
FedEx
12,000.
1407, 12,600 with information Golf.
FedEx 1407, Minneapolis approach, altimeter 2982, expect the ILS runway 30 left via Hampton.
Altimeter 2982, expect the ILS runway 30 left via Hampton, FedEx 1407.
Received the ILS approach, which I was expecting due to the cloud coverage, so that's gonna work out pretty good. And we are just waiting for the aircraft to get closer so that we can pick up the localizer signal and the correct localizer. I'm not sure if this is a bug. When you tune it, it's not tuning to the correct one. But regardless, we are coming down to 10,000. The aircraft should start slowing down to 250 knots. Drag message is shown again, so I'm extending the speed brakes to slow the aircraft down to 250 knots. And the anti-ice systems are automatic, so it should kick in if ice is detected. Yep, we are slowing down. Just wait a little bit. Do not rush. Right. Very nice. So the flight went eventless. The ATC handed over to different centers along the way. But in my test sector, once we land, it wasn't reading the scenery information, therefore it wasn't giving me the taxi instructions to the parking area for the cargo ramp. But we will ignore that. That will get fixed, I'm pretty sure, once we have the release. And once we land, we will try it again, and if it doesn't respond well enough, we will just disregard the beyond ATC and continue ourselves. Okay, coming down to 7,000. I think we should set this down to 3,000, which is our procedure altitude for the initial final fix. I'm sorry, even though we haven't received anything from the ATC, I'm just getting ready for it because we can expect to hear from the ATC very shortly. Below 10,000, landing lights are now coming on, as well as runway turn-off lights. Passenger signs are on. Auto brakes, we can set them to medium. Auto brakes medium set. Speed brake is armed. That's kind of the flow for landing. And we can decrease the range just a little bit to see better. And we will take control because after this turn there is not much distance left to the runway. So we will take control of the speed once we are there. In fact, we can do it right now and try to set the speed to 220 knots. Once it's white, it means you are controlling it. If it's magenta, it means autopilot is on control. It's in control. But when you set, you have to pull the knob to command the aircraft to slow to the selected speed. So if you just set it up, it will not recognize it until you pull the knob. But we are coming down to 7,000. One thing I haven't done, if we go here, this is still my takeoff flap setting. I should clear this up and go back to 10 for landing and leave it at that. Beautiful. We can at this point go slats, but I'm gonna wait just a little bit more. That should help us slow down even further. Let's do slats for now, because we are below the slats retraction speed. Beautiful. Can now slow down to 200 knots. See if we are picking up the localizer. IMSP. We are. It updated itself. Okay, great. That's good to know. It's great. So we'll put the localizer and the VORs here in case. Okay, we are at 210 knots. 18 miles from the airport. At this point we can go flaps 10.
FedEx 1407, cleared direct Hapt, cross Hapt at or above 7,000, cleared ILS runway 30 left.
Cleared direct Hapton, cross Hapton at or above 7,000, cleared ILS runway 30 left, FedEx 1407.
We are cleared for the ILS, which means we can descend down to the profile altitude of, or procedure altitude of 3,000 feet. I am slowing the aircraft down to 180 knots, just to give myself enough time to configure the aircraft for the approach. Slowing down nicely. It's raining and we are seeing the ground behind the clouds. Lovely view, if you ask me. Next waypoint should be A-base. Yep, D-blame, A-base and Narco. D-blame, A-base and Narco. Great. So now we are at 180 knots. Speed is 161 and the landing speed, reference speed is 156. Guess we'll keep that page over there. Cutting down the speed to 175. Okay, next waypoint is our initial fix, so we should get down to the speed that we are comfortable with to slow down for the approach before the glide slope. And we can go flaps 28 at this point. So we got 2 levels of flaps left. I am seeing the glide slope indicator and the localizer slightly, which means now I can arm the approach. Okay, approach is now armed. The aircraft should capture the localizer when we get closer to A-base, our initial fix, and from there it's on us to get the aircraft down. 13 miles, we'll wait below 10 miles and then we will extend the landing gear. Down to the profile altitude very shortly. 1,000 feet. This approach altitude is also 3,000 feet. Only thing I haven't set is the barometric minimum. That's 992. It's gonna take a while for me to set this up properly. I wish there was an easier way. Now the localizer is inbound. We are going to probably capture it very shortly. So you see the magenta diamond moving to the center on our flight display. Are waiting for the localizer capture.
FedEx 1407, contact Minneapolis Tower 126.7.
Contact Tower 126.7 FedEx 1407.
267. That would be the last one. Minimum is
Minneapolis Tower,
923.
FedEx 1407, ILS runway 30 left.
FedEx 1407, Minneapolis Tower, wind tree 10 at 7, runway tree 0 left cleared to land.
Runway 30 left cleared to land, FedEx 1407.
Interestingly, we have not captured the localizer again. What is happening here? We might have to start thinking about doing this ourselves. Gear is coming down, last stage of flaps, and I think we are going to disconnect the autopilot because we are not descending. I'm gonna start a descent using the vertical speed mode. Set the altitude down because we are not able to capture the glide slope again. I'm not sure if it's a problem with this airport. Oh, we are on the localizer. Nice. At least that's something. Glide slope is way below. So let's shallow the descent rate. I have visual, I can take control if I want to, but I want to follow the glide slope. We'll just descend at 500 feet per minute for now until we are comfortable. We are below, so let's take the control, bring the nose down and land ourselves because we have visual. again, this happened. I'm not sure what's causing this, but this is the 4th time I am not able to capture the localizer down here at Minneapolis. I haven't tried this with a different airport, so I'm not sure if it's the airport information wrong or whatever. We are off to the right. Let's correct our position just a little bit. We are still too high though.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Let's pull the nose down, up now. Throttles back. This is, I need to do a side slip here. Okay.
Sync
The
rate.
throttles.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Glide slow. Glide slow.
We are down. Cursors are in. Should be able to exit at Whiskey 5. It should be here, or the next one.
FedEx 1407, exit left at Whiskey.
Exit left.
Exit left at Whiskey, FedEx 1407.
The brakes can be disconnected. Flaps can come in, and we can retract the speed brakes. Let's see here. Nose light to taxi, landing lights are off, runway turn-off lights are off, strobes are off. Just find a place to stop here, somewhere here at Mike, and right to ourselves is the cargo ramp, so we might as well go there, because as I said, the ATC will not recognize the scenery and give us proper taxi instructions to the cargo ramp.
FedEx 1407, contact ground 133.575.
Okay, let's stop here.
Ground 133.575, FedEx 1407.
Let's do a couple things. Let's start the APU. Let's contact the ground 133.575. And you will see they are not able to give us instructions. Weather radar, we can turn the weather radar off now. We'll keep the transponder. We can contact the ground. Request taxi to the cargo ramp.
FedEx 1407, request taxi to the cargo ramp.
FedEx 1407, welcome to Minneapolis St. Paul Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
Take any cargo.
We'll take any cargo ramp, please. FedEx 1407.
FedEx 1407, say again cargo ramp number.
As you see, they don't recognize this. So I'm gonna turn off beyond ATC and I will ask GSX for a parking position. Northwest parking, we'll do ramp 195. We don't need follow me, and that will be it. Let's bring the sleds into. So it's sticky, as you know, in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Rain is like glue. That's why we are not moving, so I'm gonna add some thrust to get the aircraft moving. I kept the performance up here on the upper right corner for you guys to take a look at how the performance is. It's 26 FPS right now, not probably great, but it could be the scenery, it could be the rain, I don't know. But during the flight it was great. Don't need the traffic information anymore. We are coming to the entrance of the cargo ramp. Let's cut the throttles just a little bit. We don't want to speed up too much. Nice. Fortunately, I'm not sure what's going on with that, why we are not able to capture the localizer, and it was always runway 30 left that gave me trouble. I was able to land to the other runways at this airport, so I don't know what is the deal. But you have seen it, it could be the aircraft, it could be a bug, it could be the nav data. Take it with a pinch of salt, because I am not sure what was causing this. It's terrible weather here at Minneapolis today. We are looking at 194. Let's get ourselves close. After this one should be our parking position right there. Let's slow down as we are going to make this turn into the parking position. Let's turn off the taxi lights. We don't want to blind anyone. And let's slow down. This should be our turn to the parking position. If I'm not mistaken, we should see a marshaller here. There's no marshaller, I guess, for the cargo airliners. We will line ourselves with the line here. And as I always suck at parking properly, I don't know where to stop. I'll just try to gauge it as good as I possibly can. I think this is good enough. Parking brakes are set, and let's go out and check how well I did. So great, we could have gone just a little bit further. Let's do that. Let's correct this. This is better. Can jump into the cockpit now. Alrighty, we should have APU running. Yes, we do. Put the APU power on, and we can shut the engines down. Engines are turning off. Now we can turn off the beacon lights. Go to the services, place the wheel chocks in place. Connect the GPU, open the cargo doors and passenger doors, and request deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
While it's going on, let's take a look here what we don't need. We don't need the starter anymore, so that can be turned off. Passenger signs can come off. Emergency lights can be disarmed. Over to the off position now. IRS, we don't need the IRSs anymore. CP, clear that warning. Can set the speed to something like 100, like an Airbus. Course to 0, or heading to 0, not the course, as we are parking the aircraft here for the night, and the altitude to 10,000. Switches are back in place. Auto brakes are turned off. Parking brake is set. Fuel levers are cut off position. We should be good now. friends, I hope you enjoyed the MD-11 two-part series that's close to release now. I think the flight went quite well, except the inability to capture the localizer. Other than that, it was eventless, and the VNav did a great job. So I think those little things will be ironed out. Do I still have my strobes on? I should not have though. Can turn the logo light on. Maybe that was the loader. Do we have something? Yeah. That's probably the reflection of the loader's rotating warning light. But anyway, thanks for being here with me today. Thanks for your patience for the part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving the video a like. And if you stumbled upon this video and not a channel subscriber, please consider subscribing and turning on the notifications for future videos. Again, I wish you guys a great rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.